Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to show you how one of the only ways that I've been able to find to melt gold from, you pretty much almost get it there, but it tends to stay in a similar form to this. Just like a melted glob of gold. No matter how long you leave your MAP gas or propane on, directly heating the gold itself, you just can't get it past that one last little bit. You could see it melting at times, but it's just you can't get it to form that button. So what we're going to do is turn that into this. So, like I'm saying, the only way that I've found personally to do this, aside from going out and forking out a bunch of money for an oxygen acetylene tank. There's an oxygen propane, I think, as well. Propane acetylene. There's a few different combinations that'll work for it, but they are not cheap. So this way here is the way I found to do it with MAP gas and propane. I did suggest when I was glazing my crucible over here that you want to go with MAP gas, and was not able to locate any MAP gas even on the internet. Everything is MAP Pro, which only gain about 200 or so degrees of temperature increase as opposed to just standard propane. So what I have today is I got my own little forge here kind of set up. I got my regular propane, I got my MAP Pro gas, and I made this little to put my crucible inside this little like kiln type thing. So actually these aren't the exact bricks I was looking to get, but they're 20 cents each at Home Depot, so why the hell not? So we just have a bottom, a back, two sides, slightly angled so it can fit my little crucible there. This just basically helps retain all the heat from the process, because if you just have it sitting out on a, even this is a nice metal table, if it's just sitting on the table or just sitting out in the open, it's the heat just dissipates way too much, because the MAP gas, only gets to about 200, 250 degrees more at the tip of the blue flame than the melting temperature of gold itself. So you really need to maximize your heat retention in order to make this actually work. Again, if you have an oxygen acetylene tank, just don't even bother watching the video. You'll be able to melt anything you want with that thing. But when using MAP gas or just a handheld torch, this is going to be a great option for you. So we'll take a look at how we do this. So in order to save your ears, I'm going to go ahead and do a fast mo of the process here. But to give you a little hint ahead of time here, so I'm going to be using the propane on the bottom. Sometimes I'll flip it around, turn it to make sure that I get good heat on the bottom. But you'll see the brick down here on the bottom, right below the little crucible here, will start turning red. So basically, you're almost heating it from the top and from the bottom. So that way, like I was saying previously, you maximize the retention of the heat, which is it's required when you're doing something like this. All right, now that I'm sure that there's no residual moisture in the crucible, I can go ahead and put in my little gold abomination here and kind of make it into a button. There's some borax in there. That's how you glaze it, and that's how I actually got this to this point. But you don't want to overdo the borax, so I'm just going to go ahead and put it in and heat her up. Because you don't want to use too much borax. It is a flux, and it does do a lot of positive things. It takes out impurities, slightly lowers the melting temperature and things like that. So it is important, especially when you're using a handheld torch. But since I already have some, within the mixture of the gold itself and in the crucible, I don't want to overdo it. You definitely don't want to overdo it on the borax. Just word of wise there. Let's start melt. Wow, it just congealed into a button form here. Take the heat off. It's kind of hard to do all this with one hand, but we'll make it work for you. And we have a button. This should be, I think I put 1.12 grams. It's a little, it's nice and flat on one side. It's a little convex on the other. Concave, I can't recall, my apologies. But that is it. We have a button ready to go, guys. Sweet. All right, so there's a little forge thing, a little crucible, so you can just do this at your home at your leisure. It's not very, you know, financially, it really doesn't cost very much money to do it this way. This is probably a total of what, the map gas is probably 20 bucks, the nozzle, it's probably around, so this entire unit right here is probably $55. This one, probably you can get them for free from me damn near, but probably 15, 20 bucks. 20 cents a piece on those, and you're good to go. So we are good. I mean, she's a little red, but hell, we'll call it rose gold, shall we? Now I'll take some very fine sandpaper. Let's see how quickly the heat dissipates because it's gold. So yeah, it definitely has a red hue to it, that's for sure. But a lot of that will come off when I see this side's not bad at all. It will come off when I use some ultra fine sandpaper on it. I'll actually show the final result with some pictures at the end of this video. All right, guys, appreciate you taking the time to watch the video. If you found some value out of this, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like, subscribe button. I got a lot more, you know, metallurgy and smelting type stuff coming up here in the near future. So appreciate your time.